Hey everybody, it's Rob from Flailthroughs. This is Gundam Battle Operation 2, and thank you once again to Bandai Namco Entertainment America for giving me the ability to preview the NTX. Uh, we are going to take a look at it here, and I want to check the explanation real quick and see. Okay, it is from Mobile Suit Gundam Katana. I think it has shown up in G Generation, if I'm not mistaken, or at least something by that name has. But oh well. I like I always say, I could be wrong. I frequently am. It is my hobby. At any rate, it is a 500 cost support, usable in ground and space with space compatibility, so slightly better mobility options there. Has a melee priority of 2, which is pretty good for support. 16,000 hit points, 18 ballistic resistance, 26 beam resistance, 16 melee resistance, range strength of 40, melee strength of 10, movement speed 125, high speed maneuver, so boost speed of 190, thruster gauge 65, and turning speed of 57. It has 7 close range slots, 14 medium, and 15 long range. For its enhancements, at 510 enhancement points, it gets 1 point of beam defense. At 1030, it gets 1 point of range strength. An extra 100 points of shield HP at 1550. Its extra expansion slots at 2070. That'll take it to 81516. Then if you pay to break the first limit and get 4140 points, you will get 5 more beam defense. And if you pay DP to break the second limit, I need to specify DP for that. That is not a real money transaction. But yeah, if you break both limits and get it up to 6,210 points, you will get an extra 5 range strength. So it's not bad at all. All right, so let's take a look at what it's got. Its main weapon is a machine gun. 50 ammo, power of 150 per shot, range of 300 meters, 8-second reload. Has ASL, high accuracy, and easily destroys parts. Let's see. Standard beam saber, more or less, 2100 power, cooldown time 2.5 seconds. Yeah, it does not have any mention of any special qualities. Has head Vulcans, 60 rounds at 200 meters. Power on those is 110 per shot. Reload time 6 seconds. Yep, fairly standard. Has an arm-mounted beam launcher, which, from the design, it looks like they telescope out when they're active. That's neat. 350 damage per shot, 18% heat rate per shot, range of 350. Cooldown time is 0.5 seconds between shots, overheat 17 seconds, and charge time 2.5. Normal fire does not suppress, but offers a reasonable firing rate. Focused fire suppresses. Yeah, so no instant stun from the regular fire, but it will. But if you charge it, it will. It has wired Psychomu bits. Two kind of interesting choices, I feel like. Power rating of 400 per shot on a bombard beam. Those are sustained damage or Garaby beams. Heat rate 100%, 30-second overheat, range is 350 once again, and yeah, power 400 per tick. We'll have to see how many ticks we can get out of it. Yeah, after locking on, release the attack button to launch bits that can limit enemy actions. Yeah, so that will probably cause heavy stagger. A lot of those discharge weapons do. Okay, and here is the other one, Psychomu bit linked fire. Power 900 per shot, heat rate 100%, range 300 meters, cooldown time 3 seconds, overheat 22. Once launched, it goes into standby mode, tracking your movement. When executing an attack other than tackle or counter, it will link for temporary ranged combo attacks toward the reticle. Pressing reload after use will exit bit standby mode. Yeah, so I have a feeling you probably have to go back to it on the target selector and hit reload to make it stop, but you can make it stop before it runs through its heat gauge. And it has a large shield with 3,000 defense. Well, 3,000 hit points. Okay, I'm going to put the discharge funnels over here and the link funnels here, and that's all I have to do. Okay, so for skills, high performance radar level 2, so a full radar range of 400 meters. Level 1 anti-stealth. That cancels level 1 stealth and reduces the stealth range of higher levels by 50 meters. Observational data link. Fairly standard for supports. If it is on the field, everyone else will get to see life bars. Frontline support system, which at level 1, every friendly unit that has this skill reduces respawn time by 5%. High performance aerospace gimbal, which gives you higher and lower vertical range when you're in space. So at level 2, you can generally hit things that are almost directly above you. So yeah, it's going to have good range. Level 3 leg shock absorber, so reduce stress after jumping boosting, and very slightly faster recovery time from that stress. It's only ever 1% on any level of the skill I've seen, so yeah, it's not going to be super noticeable most of the time. Anti-blast, so if it's up close on something that explodes, it will not be heavy staggered. Balancer, so it is set up to cancel into its melee attacks with Beam Saber. High spec Ambac is a space only skill that means that if you don't change directions at the end of your boost, you will not get the braking animation and will be able to just transition into an attack animation like a like a Beam Saber or what have you, that much faster. Psychomu weapon buffer, when the Psychomu weapons are not active, well, not selected, they get 30% damage reduction for anything that hits them. Back add-on buffer, damage reduction against anything that hits the back by 15%. So, yeah, so whatever part is backpack gets 15%, and whichever part is the Psychomus gets more. Alright, so that is the gist of it. We are going to take this into our usual testing grounds, which, this is pretty appropriate for this since it is actually a 500 this week, so that's not bad. All right, let's take a look at some stuff here. And
ready to begin?
I swear I get more lag starting up the test than I do an actual round, which is just weird. Okay, so pretty good fast machine gun. Not a lot of build stun on it, though. That's interesting. Yeah, it seems like the Vulcans actually do build stun faster than the machine gun. That's kind of weird. Doing good damage, though, because that Gundam is just about dead. Yep, took all the Vulcans, one full magazine, and one bullet from the machine gun. I try that on the Zoc just in case I was missing some and see if it's really that little build stun. No, it really is that little build stun. I don't know why this machine gun has, like, almost no stopping power. But yeah, look at how much faster the Vulcans are. I got about a third of the way up the stun gauge with the full magazine for the machine gun, and it took me less than half the magazine for the Vulcans to stun thing outright. So yeah, you will not be stunning anything with this machine gun, but it fires very quickly and does very good damage. That is just a weird choice, especially since when things get up close on them, a lot of times supports live and die by stuns. But alright, let's check out the beam launcher. Maybe that has a little bit more damage for us. Well, okay, yeah, it stuns a lot faster. And I'm going to do that again just to take a look, but how fast can I do it? Not very quickly either, so let's see how the charge shot does. Good damage and instant stun, that's something. Let's go back to the Zoc real quick and see how much build stun that has. About a quarter of the gauge, yeah, so this thing's going to have a real weakness for things with the Zoc's various stun defenses. Okay, we'll start with the bombard funnels. All right. That does it fairly quickly, but the run up for it is a little bit slow. Okay, let's take a look at the linkage funnels, or bits rather. I have a feeling that one of the reasons the machine gun may do so little build stun is because it's designed to be used with this. Okay, yeah, there's not so much because it's still, they fire very slowly, as you can see. So, but yeah, and they last about that long. So, all right, let's try the bombard funnels on this Zoc and see how that does, and I'll supplement with the machine gun just to see how fast. Yeah, that's relatively quick. It actually was enough to almost stun it twice, but the machine gun was not enough for it. Yeah, so this thing seems to be decently powerful, because I'm taking things down at my own cost very quickly here. But it is not particularly good at build stun, and only has like 2 weapons that cause instant stun. So yeah, that's gonna be, well, let me be sure of something here before I go saying that. I don't think I tried the linkage bits on something normal instead of the Zoc, just to see if they have instant stun here. They do. Okay, now I get it. Yeah. Yeah, so it has like 2 attacks with relatively rapid instant stun and good damage, but no build stun to speak of on basically anything. Except again the Vulcans. So just so if a lot of times my defensive option when things move in on me is to try and use build stun or instant stun to stop them when they come in. But given that most raids have maneuver armor, you're probably just going to want to hope they also only have melee priority too. Speaking of, neutral, which fairly standard neutral. Left, fairly standard left. Damage is, again, decent. This is with no parts equipped or anything like that. And the downswing is a fairly big lunge with, again, decent damage. I'm going to see what the downswing damage is like on the RX-78 over here. Hopefully I'll get around its shield. But, okay. And, of course, it does have balancer, so you can just start that right away. Not that much more. Of course, it may have more melee defense than a Zoc. I don't know. So, yeah. At this point, trying to think. Yeah, and spatial will get just a few more degrees above or below you than I'm getting here. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that really needs tested on this. Doesn't have any kind of air boost skills, does not have forced injectors, does not have resist move. Like, I feel like... Okay, you can't use both types of bit at the same time, that makes sense. Yeah, I feel like this is something that, I mean, it's a support, so this is not particularly unusual. But to get the most out of this, you are definitely going to have to work relatively closely with your team and stay with them. Okay, you can't use the linkage bits while boosting. I want to just use those for a second and see again on the... Okay, they do fire faster than I thought they did if you just tap the trigger for things, it looks like. So, looks like they may actually... No? Okay. Yeah, yeah, relatively fast. And yeah, they can... again, it puts out decent damage. Once you build it for further range strength, I think you could have something here. But one last thing to test. Okay, it can use the bombard bits while boosting. So yeah, in terms of, I was talking about up-close defenses when something's coming in on you, they are going to be your best bet. Because that, or again, try and catch somebody with an offhand downswing as you retreat and hope that they fall for it, literally. But yeah, this thing... Alright, oh yeah, that's one more thing I want to try, not in terms of damage, but just in terms of use. Okay, yeah, there's a timer on those, and I'm not sure what it is, but Yeah. Yeah, you can close those down and with the reload button, which is going to be something, again, you'll need to remember if you're going to be wanting those bombard bits to keep you alive in close quarters. Yeah. All right. So last thing to test when the Gundam comes back is the tackle. And then I guess I'm going to go hang out near the Zagak E's and go live and see if I am right about how tough this thing may be to deal with if you're fighting raids with not a lot of outside support. But, which is, again, generally, I've said before that, you know, supports are generally designed to, you know, need the support of a team to really excel. Okay, just the standard slam, as old as the game itself. Probably, I think it goes back to GBO1, so yeah. Fairly standard animation. It would have been nice to have something with those bits, just like have them like clamp the thing down and then fire. But yeah, it's interesting. It's nice to have a new support, but yeah, you're gonna have your best bet with this if you have a team willing to work with you, which, you know, sometimes does happen. I wish it happened more when I was doing my dailies, especially when they have limited missions up for rated matches. But we are going to turn on enemy AI. We're also going to turn force counter off just to get the full experience here and see what we can do. We're going to work the legs. That Zagaki is slow on the uptake. But yeah, maybe about a third of its stun gauge. And boom. Okay, it didn't quite have time to tackle me. That's good. Yeah, I need to remember about the arm beam gun, because that's probably my best option here. Oh boy. But I'm just gonna run around that if I can. Nope. Okay. Yep, got a general and a raid on me. I am gonna try to lock onto the raid and then run away. Yep. Okay. Bombard's out. It moved too fast, so they are way back there. I was able to stun it with the arm beam gun, but I overheated it in the process. So let's set up the linkage and just go. Okay, now here is a viable. You can't activate the linkage bits when you're boosting, but they will fire while boosting. So yeah, okay, so I may have been underestimating this a little bit. It's going to be one of those cases, I think, where it has fairly specific fairly specific ways to use it that are maybe not immediately apparent, which, you know, which frequently means that people are going to, you know, declare it bad in the first week or two, and it will get a buff that will make the people who were good at it in the first place truly frightening within a month. But okay, yeah, but as you can see, it is more able to take care of itself than I gave it credit for. You just can't rely on the tools that you would think you'd be using to make that happen. Just the build stun from the machine gun's not going to do it. The you know, the beam gun on the arm can do some, but not a lot, especially if your enemy starts boosting and the maneuver armor takes. But it can actually take care of itself to a decent degree. It's doing so for me at the moment, anyway. Thank you. All right, and boom. Nope, read my mind and I'm dead. Which, oh well, that is to be expected with the way this game works. But yeah, it's like I said, it's proving a little bit more capable here against the AI than I expected it to. It is not a foregone conclusion that if a raid catches you, you're dead. Like I said, you're just going to have to use your tools a little bit differently than you might think to get out of it. So it's an interesting beast for sure, but I still think once you've got it properly loaded up with probably, you know, if possible, ranged mod and melee defense, it's going to be pretty good. Let's fight this Zoc before we stop and see what that does for us. Okay, that did stun the Zoc fairly well. Let's bombard it. That should lock down even a Zoc. Nope. Okay, well, now it did. Mostly. Sort of. A little. Yeah. Okay. I wish it had melee combo just to go with everything else, but, you know, understandable that it doesn't. That is not... There's a few supports that have that, but there are not many. But yeah, in terms of, mobile defenses against incoming enemies, the linkage bits and Vulcans are a really good combo, because Vulcans are, I believe, I'm testing that now. Yep. Vulcans and Beam Saber are the only weapons it has that you can use while boosting, besides the Bombard bits, which of course preclude the use of the linkage bits. But okay, yeah. So yeah, whereas the Engage Zero Incom type is about piling on damage and stun, this just mostly piles on damage and has some, a few self-defensive tricks. Also, if you don't have anything else available to protect yourself at range, you can just, point at something and swing your beam saber and get some shots out of your bits. Well, that's something. Yeah, like I said, this is going to be something that's going to take practice and going to take time to adapt to. And again, if you have a team that will bear with you and will back you up, I think you can get some good results out of this. If not, it looks like it can, like I said, it can take care of itself. Just going to be slightly different doing it than a lot of the other supports you might play. So, which is not the bad news. I like mobile suits that add new playstyles. I don't mind that. Just again, I feel like I don't know how much patience the rest of the player base is going to have for that. It may be a thing where, like I said, just like the Balanok Saman and things like that, people that can that figure this thing out will make it sing and dance, and everybody else will be the reason that it gets buffs that make it absolutely horrifying in the hands of those people in a month or 2 or 3. But at any rate, that is the test drive for the NTX. Good luck to everybody trying to roll it, and that is going to do it for now. Till next time, everybody take care and have fun. Later.